Today's oracle card reading for personality type 3 is pretty straightforward, and you're going to hear some stuff you've never heard before. I'm going to call this reading Real Success Starts with Being Real. Let's dive in. Hello, personality type 3. This oracle card reading is for you. Personality type 3 has two names, the luminary or the pretender. This is a type that's oriented around a theme of worth. What does worth really mean? Is it about self-love and having inherent value, or does it degrade into chasing glory? So let's take a look at what messages are coming up for you, type 3, so that you can be your most magnificent luminary. We're going to use two decks of cards, the Archetype cards by Carolyn Meese and the Becoming Dragon cards by Chris Beasley. Both of these decks contain a high side and low side message about archetypes. So that is in line with my system called Your Vitality Personality, which also looks at the consciousness directed side of the personality type or the ego driven side of the type. Aligning with your higher self is what brings you into flow and to your most magnificent life. Aligning with your ego, which is your unconscious. We do it by accident. We don't even realize that's what we're doing, but it takes us far away from ourselves and our best life. So let's find out what messages are for you that will help you be in alignment and have your best life. Okay. So the first card that I pulled for you, type 3, is called the Advocate. So see, there's a light attribute and a shadow attribute. The Advocate inspires you to put compassion into action. As the luminary, for sure it does. Okay, so type 3 is all about success. Type 3 wants to be successful and is willing to do whatever it takes to get there, including shortcuts. So this is reminding you to act with compassion. It's not just about what is the sure win, what is the most likely direction to success. Your heart needs to be involved in every decision that you make. You are absolutely built to be a leader, type 3, to be a luminary in the world, a famous person in the world. You've got what it takes. Even if it's like local business owner, you're going to be the award winner, the successful one. Or you could be a president of the United States, or you could be an award-winning actor. You have got what it takes to go all the way and to be in the limelight, but you do not want to forget about your heart. Stay true. Stay true to yourself. Stay connected to feelings. Remember that you care about other people, because there are lots of, for example, politicians who are type 3s. And, you know, it ends up being about what do I need to say to get me to win, rather than do I really care about the people I'm trying to lead. So remembering your heart, remembering that you care in order to be an advocate. If you are in a leadership role, you're going to be an advocate in some way for other people. So what do you care about? What means something to you personally? That's what you put your energy into, and that's what you take all the way, are the things that really mean something to you, not just because they look good or they pay well, but because it matters to you personally. You are a unique individual. Even though there are many type 3s, You are the only one with your soul. You have a one-of-a-kind soul inside a type 3 personality type, and that is a one-of-a-kind experience. So put your whole self into everything that you do. Your authenticity is how you win. Don't try to be like everybody else. Don't play by the same paradigms as everybody who came before you. Have the courage to be authentic, to do it your special, unique way. That is what will make you a true luminary. Okay. This one I was super surprised to see that I pulled, but Oracle says, yes, it's for you. The Hermit card. I super don't think of you as a hermit, but it said to look at the light attribute of the Hermit. Seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. Okay, well, this is building on the last card. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Have you ever done that in your entire life, type 3? This is so not typical for the type 3 to go inward or to seek solitude. To focus on the inner life is just totally not your wheelhouse, but it is what's missing. It is what keeps you out of balance. Type 3s learn somewhere in their childhood that that feelings are not safe. Feelings lead you astray. Most type 3s that I have met who look like they've got it all together, they've got it all going on, very polished external appearance, will privately admit that they were actually sensitive, emotional children, and that you probably had an experience or a series or an environment that communicated to you, don't be a baby, don't be a wuss. Don't show your feelings. Feelings make you weak. And so most type 3s receive messaging that if they want to be popular and if they want to be liked and if they want to be admired, they need to shut down the heart. They need to disconnect and toughen up. And so they kind of set the inner life aside. I mean, it's not a conscious choice, of course. It just happens naturally. And this is a child. I mean, how self-aware is a child? The problem is now you're an adult, and have you ever reevaluated that position? So your inner life is the truth of who you are, and type 3s get very far away from that. In the pursuit of success, you might have started dressing like the people you admire. You might have started reading the books written by the people you admire. You might have started joining fraternities or sororities or other kinds of clubs or groups that would help you get ahead, but that have nothing to do with your personal interests, the things you care about, with who you really are. Type 3s start disconnecting from all of that in the pursuit of the win, of the success. And you really don't seek out solitude to be alone with yourself. You like to be really busy, and generally 3s are extremely social. And type 3s run with all other type 3s. So that really reinforces the culture of being competitive, striving to win. You need to look your best. You need to have the most money. You know that expression, you can never be too rich or too skinny? That is a type 3 value. That's a type 3 belief. And so being alone with yourself so that you can get to know your feelings better or to work on your creativity, I'm sure this feels like incredibly foreign advice. And you might be minimizing it. You might be dismissing it right now as, no, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. But what I'm going to tell you is you end up losing type 3. You end up losing real big when you do not align with your heart. It might look great for a while, but then there ends up being a really upsetting crash when all of your life is built on appearances and external drivers and not your truth. So this card is trying to guide you towards your best life. Okay, the next card is called the Rebel. I want to look at this picture. It's a woman sitting on a branch of a tree. It's like she's got a whole little couch set up in a tree. And I'm supposed to read the shadow attributes for you. Rejects legitimate authority out of anger. Rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Okay, so peer pressure and fashion, those are the keywords for the type 3. Anger, I don't care about so much for the type 3. I mean, if you're struggling with anger management type 3, those have to do with wounds probably out of your childhood. Because a typical type 3 is actually pretty emotionally neutral. They're not real high highs and not real low lows. Type 3s are usually very even tempered. So if you find yourself struggling with a lot of anger, you've got some healing to do out of your childhood. And I have methods for that. Those are called the Real You methods, and they're available in my book, Your Vitality Personality. And also I teach you how to do them in the private membership called the Expansion Society. So I don't think that concern with authority or anger are really your things, but definitely peer pressure or fashion to take on the attitudes of the people you run with or the culture you want to be a part of. That's very much a type 3 thing to do. That's what I was talking about before. Leading yourself astray away from your own authenticity in order to be popular, in order to be liked, in order to seem cool. You will adopt attitudes that aren't really yours. You know, you'll dress a certain kind of way, you'll talk a certain kind of way, and it may really have nothing to do with who you really are. So again, this is encouraging you to be authentic, to be true to yourself. There absolutely is a way to be popular and successful without giving up on your authenticity. And so that, again, does take some connecting with the heart to even find your truth anymore. A lot of 3s have been living a certain way for so long, they don't really know what they care about anymore, what's important to them, what their beliefs really are, what their identity is outside of their career or their status. So there is a way to be true to yourself and to have the success you desire. Okay, the next card is called the Trickster. The Trickster. And it's a picture of a magician with a magic wand. Okay, the shadow attribute of the Trickster, manipulating others through duplicity. Well, that's why type 3 shadow name is called the Pretender. Okay. So you're not going to like me exposing this, and I'm sorry, but it really is an important part of what a type 3 needs to be taking an honest look at, and that is manipulating through duplicity. Type 3s are okay with lying. And not just white lies. It's a major get-ahead strategy. You know, if I'm just out for the win, I don't really care how I get it. I just need to win. I need to beat other people. I need to look like the best. That is what is most important. And so if I have to fudge the truth or cut corners to make that happen, then unfortunately that's the way it is. So the way type 3s justify that is believing that that's how the world works. Everybody does it. That's what everybody does. So type 3s kind of believe that that's what it takes to be successful, and therefore that's what everybody's doing, and that makes it okay. It's just saying what you need to say in order to get the win. Cutting corners, just, I won't give too many examples, but you'll recognize yourself. You'll know what I'm talking about. Chances are you've got a few skeletons in your closet that you don't want to talk about, and I won't make you talk about it, but this is a conversation between you and you. Is it really a win if you had to cheat or lie to get it? Is it really worth having if you had to sell your authenticity out in order to have it? Can your relationships really trust you or even know who you are if you don't speak your truth? Is everything that you're building built on a house of cards because none of it's real? So your authenticity is number one for you, type 3. And making a real promise to yourself not to lie would be absolutely life-changing. Type 3s are so polished, so diplomatic. That's why there's so many politicians who are type 3s. So are used car salesmen. Is that who you want to be? That's not who you want to be. You want to be the luminary, someone people really admire and respect. You don't need to sell anything out to be that person. You have everything you need inside of you to dazzle. You are magnificent. Your drive, your endurance, your willingness to stick with things that are hard and long, your tenacity, your endurance, it's just so impressive. You can get yourself there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Speak your truth and let the cards fall where they may. Not everybody is going to like you. That's all right. You just need your people to like you. You need your posse of people who get you, who admire you, who understand you, who respect you, because you're real, because you're being real, and they can relate to you and they believe in you. It doesn't need to be smoke and mirrors. Okay, the last card is called the Avenger. Who is that masked man? The shadow attribute, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. That does not remind me of a type 3. Only in politics, I guess. Like being a war maker because you've aligned with a party, But I mean, I don't think of type 3s as violent people in general. Like I said, they're super even-tempered. Type 3s are a never let them see you sweat kind of person. They are calm, cool, and collected. They do not want to lose their cool in public. And so I don't see them being super hot-headed and violent. But in terms of politics, lots of 3s have declared war because that's what their party wanted them to do. Let me look this card up to get some more specific information for you. Okay, so my feeling is that this is about corporate greed. That is how I would interpret this for the type 3. Okay, doing things that are not for the greater good. Doing things that are just serve number one, that make you look good, that make you a lot of money, but is it benefiting other people? If it's not, then that's not how you're going to become a true luminary. That's how you're the pretender. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm being tough on you. I love type 3s. I have beautiful relationships with many type 3s. So I don't want you to feel like there's nothing nice to say about 3s, because there's a lot nice to say about 3s. But apparently the message today is what you need to work on in order to turn yourself into a true luminary. So making choices, making decisions that do not serve the greatest good, just say no. There is always a way. So type 3s really have this scarcity mentality, this belief in competition and needing to win, and that it's a dog-eat-dog world. And basically to believe in it is to perpetuate it, because that's really not how universal flow works at all. The universe is based on love and abundance, and that there's plenty for everybody, and there's no such thing as winning or losing. Everything has value. There's no such thing as the best. It's not true that other people have to lose in order for you to win. Other people have to be lower than you in order for you to be the best. Absolutely none of that is true. And so there's no reason to take crappy shortcuts that harm the environment or manipulate people or, cause damage in any way. There is absolutely a way to be honest, to have integrity, to demonstrate compassion and concern, and to still have all the success that you desire. Okay, so let's pull the dragon cards for you. Transcend versus comparison. Transcend versus comparison. This is a type 3 card. See the little dots? 1, 2, 3. That's how I know it's for a type 3. But this message could be for anybody, but this is certainly for you, type 3. So this is about how do you measure up against other people? Comparing yourself, your performance to other people. Keeping up with the Joneses. Let me pull the little book. Type 3s are just so competitive, and type 3s really like to measure how they're doing against other people. They like to see reports and ranking and, how am I doing in beating everybody else? And you're being invited to transcend that. Okay, if I'm not good at something, I usually quit, versus I let myself play in the realms I love to spend time in. Okay, so do you only do things that you can win at? Or are there things you actually just love, and it doesn't matter if you're going to win or not? Can you be bad at something and still enjoy it? If I find something impressive to do, I'll be impressive, versus I release trying to control how others see me. Okay, well, this is huge for the type 3. Type 3s are what we call an image conscious type. Type 2, 3, and 4 are all image conscious types, which mean you guys care the most about what other people think about you. And this is so anxiety producing. This creates an enormous amount of stress and pressure. If you are constantly comparing yourself to other people, monitoring what they think about you, how do you seem to other people, it's life ruining. Absolutely a joy killer. And this belief that your worth is tied to what other people think about you. Like if other people don't approve of you and find you fabulous, then you have no worth. Is that really true? Do you think that's really true? Because you already have worth, because you are a creation of God. You're here because Source wanted you to be here, and that's all you need to know. That's all the worth you need to have is, I'm with God. God wants me, so I'm great. You do not need to impress anybody. Your life is not about earning respect, winning accolades. Your life is about finding your joy and expressing yourself, expressing your true self. My purpose has to be important or influential versus I find worthiness and satisfaction in service to my purpose. Well, type 3, your highest purpose is called expansion. You are built to help things grow, to help things get bigger and better. So of all the things in the world that you could put your incredible energy and drive behind, what are you going to pick? Is it all about being impressive and influential, or can it actually be something you care about? Something that expresses you, that allows you to explore it yourself. What that means is put your talent and resources behind something you really love. And it doesn't really matter what other people think about it. Put all of you into all of you. And don't even concern yourself with what other people think. It will help you so much. You'll like your life so much more. You'll actually feel happy. You know how I was talking about type 3s are so neutral? They don't have high highs and they don't have low lows. That's because they're disconnected from their joy. You're not asking yourself, does this give me joy? You're saying, is this going to make me money? But when you actually find what you love and you actually connect with things you really care about, you're going to find a level of passion and joy that you've never experienced before. You will move out of that emotional neutrality and you will really feel high. And that will be like such a revelation for you. Okay. Fantasy versus vision. Fantasy versus vision. Okay. So this is a type 5 card, and not a lot of it pertains to you. What leaps out to me as the message for you, type 3, is this ego statement about blind attachment to my vision sabotages me. Blind attachment to my vision sabotages me. So that's what I was saying before. Your vision is probably an ego vision. The goals that you have been so aligned with, so devoted to, something that probably you've been working on for years, is it even anything you care about? Is your devotion to it because you think it's going to make you a winner? Because aligning with that is sabotage. That's that classic midlife crisis. The type 3 is the example of the midlife crisis, where you've been going after those goals, going after achievement after achievement, accomplishment after accomplishment. It's like as soon as you meet the goal and you get the big win, it hardly fills you up. Like you feel great for a day or two, and then you're like, okay, now I have to go prove myself again. Now there's something I'm supposed to do next, and that needs to be successful too. And so you're off to the races again. And it's just losing a sense of meaning in your life. It's, getting to the middle age, you've made the money, you've got the awards, you have the fancy car, you have the amazing clothes, you look totally fit and gorgeous. How come you can't really feel your life? Why doesn't it lift you up like you thought that it would? That's the sabotage. Is that I've put all of myself into these goals, and now that I've accomplished them, they don't even really feel like anything. I just don't feel any different than I did before. You were really hoping you would start to feel inside like you loved yourself, and it hasn't arrived. You have to love yourself anyway. You have to love yourself first. It doesn't matter whether you've met the goal or not. You're lovable all along the way. You were lovable before you ever started pursuing the goal. And that was the part you didn't understand. You thought you had to go win it. You had to go earn it. And then you'll be a big shot. And then you'll feel a sense of meaning inside of you. But disconnecting from the heart is why you don't feel meaning inside of you. Everything that you do needs to be aligned with your truth, with your passion, with your heart. Okay. bored versus sacred. Bored versus sacred. Yeah, I knew this was a type 7 card because I'm a type 7. Boredom is a big, big problem for type 7. Let's take a look at it and see how that applies to you, type 3. Okay. So because this is a card for type 7, not all of it applies to you. Here's the part that applies to you. If I keep moving, I'll finally be able to be still. Versus the spaciousness of stillness is always available. Okay, so there are 9 personality types, and 3 of them are called the assertive personality types. Types 3, 7, and 8 are assertive personality types, and what that means is you have the big energy. You have really big energy that you like to put full throttle into stuff. And so the flip side of that is that they're all terrible at being still. They're all really uncomfortable with stillness. But in this case, what this is talking about is that, like, you'll be able to rest later. You'll be able to take it easy later after you've sacrificed everything for the win, for the goal. You know, you're telling yourself that it's okay to burn yourself out now, to go without sleep, to work all weekend, to work all evenings, to skip intimacy, to skip connection, to maybe not show up for your kids, all because you're going after the goal. And later, you know, once you've met your goals, once you've made the money, once you've gotten the promotions, once you've set yourself up for life, then you'll be able to relax and enjoy your life. So will your kids who grew up without their parent present, will you get that childhood back? Will you be able to still be there for them 20 years later? No, it's too late. So you have to do the things you care about now. Don't put them off for later. Don't sacrifice them in pursuit of your goals. So in this version, the I'll finally be able to be still is more like I'll finally be able to chill. I'll finally be able to hang out with people. I'll finally be able to relax. The way type 3s are now, like you're on vacation, but you're still taking all the phone calls. You know, you're still trying to work even while you're trying to take a break. And for sure, whoever was on that trip with you is not happy with you. Because they thought they were getting you to themselves finally, you know, so sacrificing everything is sabotage. Does that make sense? Okay, this is another type 3 card. Truth versus self-deception. Truth versus self-deception. This is at the heart of the type 3. That scenario I was describing in childhood where you get a lot of messaging that it's not wise to trust your heart, it's not cool to be emotional or sensitive, all of that must go. That is the beginning of disconnecting from yourself, disconnecting from your heart. Setting aside everything that's going on internally in favor for pursuing everything externally. And so that leads you to start creating a persona. You know, like, say you were a little boy who loved pink, but then you got messaging that pink is for sissies, pink is for girls. It's not cool for a boy to like pink. So you start dressing in, you know, pinstripe suits or whatever. And so that's the creation of the persona, is starting to look and act like somebody that you're not, but that you think you should be. That's better than how you really are. This image is the better way to be. So you adopt this image, and then you believe that that is who you really are. You tell yourself, this is the real me. This is the truth of me. But actually, it's a fabrication. Man, These readings are like so hard hitting. I hope you guys are still with me. Okay, let me read you these bullet points. It's hard for me to admit to myself how many mistakes I make, versus I may make many mistakes, some of which I can't even see yet, and that's okay. So can you like yourself anyway? Can you love yourself anyway? Can you admit to your own flaws, or do you always need to be describing yourself in glowing terms? You know, it's interesting because the threes that I run with are all doing their shadow work. They're all really working on themselves. And so I have the privilege of getting to know type threes who can admit to their flaws, who can acknowledge that they wish they were better at something, you know, that they're working on themselves, but they're not there yet. It's amazing. I mean, I love them so deeply for it. Type threes are so afraid that they'll be rejected if they ever admit to a mistake, but actually it's what makes you so lovable because it's human. The rest of us are always making mistakes. We all know about our own dirty laundry, and for you to hold up this image of perfection is a disconnect. You're thinking, oh, that makes me more likable, more admirable. But really, if I know about my flaws and I'm hanging out with somebody who seems perfect in every way, I don't really feel safe to talk about my true self with them. You know, like it makes me feel like they wouldn't understand me. So when you admit, oh yeah, I make mistakes, or I have regrets, or geez, I didn't handle that very well, that lowers my defenses. And now I'm able to connect with you in a deeper way because you seem relatable and you seem safe. I don't want to hear what others really think of me, versus at least one person gets to see me naked of any pretending. I'm just trying to make sense of these bullet points. They don't seem exactly, I'm just trying to get the sense of this. I don't want to hear what others really think of me, versus at least one person gets to see me naked of any pretending. Well, first and foremost, do you have people in your life that you can really be yourself with? Do you have people in your life that you can cry in front of, or that you can talk about how you were embarrassed or ashamed? Do you have somebody in your life who lets you be who you are, that you feel safe being all of yourself in front of? It's like a balm to the soul. Think of how lonely it can be to not feel like anybody would like you or understand you if they knew the truth of you. But I don't want to hear what others really think of me. I guess that means I only want to hear accolades and praise. I only want to hear about how I'm amazing and admirable. I don't have conversations about what is lacking in me or needs work. Okay, if others validate me, my existence will be validated, versus I validate my own existence. So that's what I was talking about before, about image consciousness and caring, like feeling like, oh, I've finally arrived because other people are impressed with me. Whereas you could drop all of that and not worry about any of that because you're like, I'm valuable the way I am. I'm interesting and special the way I am. I don't need other people to approve of me, or I don't need to care what they think about me. I only need to care about what I think of me. And don't give me that, and I think I'm the best and I'm great in every way. Because I think we just had a long, painful conversation about how there's still some work to be done. Oh, type threes. You run this world. You run our world. You're powerful. You influence so much. Please help us turn this into a world of authenticity, where we care about each other and where it's okay to be however we are with each other. Help the world feel more beautiful and safer and more honest and full of integrity and authenticity. When you hold these type 3 values, these ego values, you are creating the world that the rest of us have to live in. And, you know, the United States is a type 3 country. As a country, we have the values of a type 3 overlaid on us. And we have an enormous amount of debt. We invest in an enormous amount of cosmetic surgery. There are all kinds of things in our food that we're not told about. I mean, there's a lot of manipulation and deception going on, and those are type 3 values. Like, that's the world that the old guard of type 3s created for us. I know for sure that if you have watched this video to the end, that's not who you are. You are here to lead us into a new era of enlightened leadership. We're counting on you to help us get there, type 3s. Please do your shadow work. Love yourself. Spend time alone with yourself. Journal. Read the book, Your Vitality Personality, and join the private membership, the Expansion Society, and, you know, learn how to be your best self, who's also your most authentic self. Type 3s, if you made it through this, you have my mad respect. Great job. Great job. Thank you so much. Keep doing your work. I'm sending you so much love and light. To take the free personality type quiz, join the membership, get the book, or schedule a private guidance session, get everything you need at yourvitalitypersonality.com.